What's going on, paisanos? V here. So we finally got Savage Strike leaks in yesterday, and for the most part, it's not that bad of a set. I know a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players were upset about Crystal Needle Fiber not being released in this set, even though it technically should have been released in this set. If this was going to be like the Synchro set, you might want to make a Link monster that helps Synchros out or whatever. I was hoping it came out early so we could have the ban list come through from now until Nationals and hit the cards that need to be hit so the card wouldn't be too easily abused in the meta. But that's not happening. So we would have to see what goes on with Crystal Needle Fiber, whether it comes out in Dark Neostorm or Battle's Legend set. It really depends what's going on with that. We're going to be looking at cards that are on pre-release for Savage Strike here at the end of this video. But before I begin, guys, I just want to say thank you to all my Patreons. You guys are really terrific. Been helping me out. Check me out on Patreon. I updated all my social media links. My Twitter links below. My Instagram links below. The Facebook page for this channel, as well as the Yu-Gi-Oh! Mark Watt Facebook page, is also down below, as well as Discord. Check it out, guys. Guys, let me know what you guys think about today's video. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the comments. Let me know what goes on with you in your mind as far as some of these cards, and what are you going to be playing for the meta. Well, Savage Strike coming out soon. There's a lot of things happening, and what are you doing? Are you playing any of the new stuff? Are you sticking with the previous stuff we have here, like Thunder Dragons and Strikers? Or are you looking to play like Madolches, Gurus, Subterra Gurus, or any of that stuff? Once again, guys, please let me know by commenting down below. And yeah, Savage Strike's already listed on TCG Player. Unfortunately, they don't have the singles list on TCG Player, but the special edition listed, the booster box is listed, everything's pretty much here except the singles, which is kind of weird. Looking at Soul Fusion, guys, we got Thunder Dragon Colossus, which is maintaining around roughly a $50 price point. And I think it's still going to maintain that price point. I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are holding on to Thunder Dragons, looking at what's happening, looking at Guard Dragons, and in my opinion, if Guard Dragons had Needle Fiber, they'd be a great contender against Thunder Dragons. But since that is not the case, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players that are holding Thunder Dragons to continue to hold, and that's where we're seeing the price point of Thunder Dragons, especially Colossus, stay at $50. It would be really interesting to see if Konami was to have a ban list and hit Thunder Dragons. I think it would be an invert hit. It'd be something like Gold Star, Brilliant Fusion, or Instant Fusion. But I don't think Konami would hit like Colossus. I don't think it's too soon for that to happen. But you never know with Konami. It's pretty unexpected. We know they tightened down their leaks with Savage Strike. Normally we would have had these cards about like a week ago, but we know they're changing things up. So it'll be interesting what happens as far as hitting Thunder Dragons or even the ban list itself. And knowing where the ban list is going to come out a week after, which would make it after the YCS, or is Konami going to do the ban list today, tomorrow, whenever? They've been changing a lot of things up, and hopefully it's for the better, so we would have to see what happens with the ban list and any other future updates Konami gives us. Looking at the Yugioh, though, market price showing to be about $42, and we're already seeing it hit high numbers as far as $48 for Dangerous Yugioh. Now, these are for unlimited prices. Looking at the first edition Yugiohs, it's about $50 for this card already. Now, if you are playing Burning Abyss, you're going to need two of these. Same with Thunder Dragons. And it's pretty crazy to see this card rise to such a high price point. Looking at Trap Chick, it's always been hovering from like the $17 price point to the $23 price point, and currently in the market we see it here for roughly around $22. First edition will be roughly around $23 for Trap Trick. Cash Dragon Levianeer is not a bad card. I always said it's not a bad card, but I think we just have BLS, and BLS is just way better of a card. So even though I like this card, I'm more of a BLS fan. I think Cash Dragon Levianeer is just good, but I don't know. It's a real hard decision. Look at Thunder Dragon Dark, it's still hovering roughly around the $10 price point because of the Thunder Dragons. And Thunder Dragon Raw is actually kind of going a little bit lower in price point. Orchestrated Return, market price showing it to stabilize a little bit in price after moving a bit in the market. Market price showing to be about $7, which it currently is. Unlimited's about $7s, and first versions are about $8 of this card. I don't know much about Orchestrated. If you're playing this, please comment below and let me know. Up next, we have Shaw's Valhalla. Now, looking at Ash Blossom Joy Spring's price point, which is $19, lower than its market price, it's no surprise Yu-Gi-Oh players are just pulling out of this card. I wouldn't blame them. If I had super rare Ash Blossoms, sell 3 of them, get roughly around $50, $60, whatever you can get for it, and put that towards new cards in Savage Strike. You're going to be getting Ash Blossom coming in a star deck soon as a common. Common and super rare Ash Blossoms aren't really that big of a difference, so I actually 100% agree with anybody who's listening to us online right now. It's a smart move, and you save money. If you want a higher version of Ash Blossom, the best version to get is Secret Rare. Even if you get Ultra Rares, I would recommend selling them. The common, there's a big price difference, and you can put that money towards buying the rest of the Salamangreats. Even though the deck is dirt cheap, that will pay for everything. Looking at Valkyrie Brunhilde, current price point is around $9. After that, it hits around $11, almost near $12. That's where its market price currently is. And looking at Ride of the Valkyries, an $11 card, but it's hitting around $15. Mistress of the Time Goddess is also roughly around $8, not too far from hitting $9. All these Valkyrie cards are going high in value, and even though I'm really excited about Valkyries getting new stuff, because I really love to see like a Yu-Gi-Oh theme deck see meta play, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Valkyries are good, just not good enough. They just can't play against the current meta right now. They're really cool for casuals, and I think that's the only players that's spiking these cards up in value, as well as collectors possibly that just want to grab these cards because from the TV show. With that said, I might have a Valkyrie deck profile on my channel soon. One of my customers at my store, he plays Valkyrie, so I'll be able to record the deck profile once he gets everything, which I think that's the only reason why he's coming to the sneak peek, is just for this. Also, Eliasta the Invoker of Madness is another card. It's around $7 in price point, as you see it over here, and I always said don't buy this card for a long while, but now I'm gonna tell you, buy this card. Get 2 of these. It was not surprising to see if Invoke was to see play in the future meta. Even more not surprising to me if it sees play with any of the cards in this set, or in general. I think Invoke's still a good deck. I just think it didn't have synergy with our previous decks, Sky Strikers, Alta Guys, Thunder Dragons, Paleos. It had 0 synergy. With that said, I think Invoke can have set of any kind of combination with future decks, and I wouldn't be surprised if Invoke does. And if that's the case, prices of cards like Eliasta and Invoker Madness will not stay at $7. Invocation's other card is really weird with me because Invocation is about $6 for the super rare. But the secret version is roughly around $9 to $10, as you can see over here. $9 to $10 easily, and I'd recommend going for the secret rare. Though the ultimate rare isn't also expensive as well. Remember, you don't need 3 invocations, you just need 2. So depending what you want to play, if you are definitely playing Invoked and you have the extra money, boom, there you go right there, $29. You get ulti invocations. If you're kind of wanting to play Invoked, it's up to you if you want to go the cheapest route possible, which would be super. I just think Secret's a couple of bucks extra, and it's just a better buy, better bang for your buck. Next, guys, Borosaur Dragon's another card that's roughly around $90 still in the market. Borosaur Dragon's coming out in Savage Strike, and we'll talk about its projected price point as well as the price point that's on for its pre-order. We'll talk about that near the end of the video, but I do want to say that Borosaur Dragon is the best one. Boros Savage Dragon's not a bad card, it's just not as good. Boros Sword will end the game, whereas Boros Savage will help you control the game. Can end the game, this will end the game, and that's why Borosaur Dragon is the best version. Also, it's a link, just like Borolo Dragon. These are links so you can go back into the extra deck once you bring these cards out, whereas Boros Savage Dragon just doesn't do that. Once again, it's not a bad card, and I think Pendulums can get great advantage from Boros Savage Dragon. But Boros Sword is a better card and will remain a better card, and that's why it's holding a $90 price point. And Boros Savage, being ultra rare, is holding a much less price point. Had Boros Savage been secret, it'd absolutely be worth more money, but nowhere near $90 price point where Boros Sword Dragon is. Looking at Danger Nessie, it's about $36. This is the danger that Thunder Dragons are currently using. Jackalop's roughly around $21, and this is a version not only Danger is using, but as well as Burning Abyss. Bigfoot doesn't see as much play, and that's why we're seeing roughly around $16. These are the 2 main ones, as well as Tsuchinoko. These are those are the dangers you want to see when you are looking to get any kind of Cybernetic Horizon, which is a pretty good set. We don't know if Danger's getting any reprints in Power Duels come this April. We have no idea. We don't know what's going on with Borosaur Dragon, if that's getting a reprint, but if it's not, Cybernetic Horizon could be the next Flames of Destruction, as well as much as its high value can it hold in the potential in the future. I think this is really good, and I think that the potential for Cybernetic Horizon to be a valuable set, just like Flames of Destruction, is there. Looking at Danger Nessie, it's once again, it's only going to go higher in value. Same with Danger Jackalope and Ultra Rare from this set. And looking at other cards like Rev System, $7. These are all cards that will sell in the market because Cyber Dragon players are crazy and want to buy more. They want to buy as much as possible. Up next, guys, Dark Saviors. Sky Striker Mobilized engages roughly around $31, anywhere from $31 to $34 to be honest with you. And Widow Anchor is just hovering at the $24 price point. These 2 cards are most likely going to be staying around this price point up until the YCS in Chicago. After the YCS in Chicago, we're going to see these card prices drop heavily until we get the ban list. And that's because Yu-Gi-Oh! Players' faith in Strikers after the YCS is going to diminish. Now, I wonder if Konami realizes this, and are they going to release a ban before the YCS? That'd be really cool to do and really weird, and would throw a wrench in a lot of Sky Striker players' decks. You know, players that are holding 3 engages and 3 Widow Anchor, and they're just hoping that they could play this deck full power at the YCS. Striker's got a great time card, well, you know, for the new time ruling in this set. They got a phenomenal card, and I think Sky Striker players know that. They know now they don't have to rush into Hayate in battle phase and swing. They could go into this new monster, and they could gain life points, which would put them higher than their opponent, and they could beat the time ruling with this extra card. So I wonder if Konami knows that, and they're going to let that happen for this YCS, or is Konami going to take the early hit and slap Engage and slap Widow Anchor? Now, in my opinion, I think Konami's going to do the light slap, so we're going to see 2 Engage to the Widow Anchor. But, you know, it wouldn't be surprising if Konami hits them hard, like the OCG slap that has Engage and Widow Anchor at 1, and Kagari at 1, all these heavy restrictions on this deck, which is still seeing play right now. Looking at B and all the rest of the cards, there's still value in this set. I mean, Vampire Frontline has some value, even though it's low from its big price spike, but it's not nowhere near as good as Sky Strikers. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you have Dark Savior packs for your locals, don't go in there and go fishing for Sky Striker cards or any kind of value. It's just not worth it for the boxes anymore, though the boxes are still at a crazy high price point. Up next is Flames of Destruction. Infinite Permits, getting a reprint in this April as an ultra rare, still has not hindered its price point. It's still hovering around $90 to $91 for Infinite Permits. It's still a needed card after in many decks, and that's why it has such a high price point. I believe this is going to happen up until the week of Power Duel's released. I just think that Infinite Permits is too much of a needed card for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players. I feel a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players that play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh are just going to go on the ship. They don't want an ultra rare. They'll just skip. If you play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, you're spending a lot of money, and you have this already, you're not going to want to sell this, go for the ultra rare, because the price variance might not be that big of a deal, especially if Konami short prints Infinite Permits, like we all know it's going to happen. Ghostbone Haunt Dimension is starting to go down a little bit. I mean, it's near $50 market price though, but it's been doing this for a while. It's been going under its own market price. The market price adjusts, and then it goes under again. Oh, by the way, guys, since you're watching the video, hit the subscribe button. Up next, guys, looking at Nightmare Unicorn. It's about $30 in the market price. We're seeing it easily hit about $35. And yeah, this card, the Nightmare package needs to be reprinted. We know that Infinite Permits is going to get reprinted, but the Nightmare package needs to be reprinted. It's only going to get higher. Nightmare Unicorn, when Flame Destruction was out, was around $25. The minute it was hard to get this set, everyone started buying up Nightmare Unicorns and started rising in price. Nightmare Corrupted Iblis, I think, is going to be going lower in value. I don't like this card's high value. I don't trust it. It's not stable, and I think it's going to continue to drop, and mark my words, it's going to tank. Looking at Vampire Saga, it's currently roughly around $19. This card used to be at $8 and it's spiking high in value. Then World Legacy Session, another card that's $10, and it's stable $10. Been like that for a good amount of time. Looking at Stream Force, you got Cyrus Skull Dread, which is roughly around the $20 price point, higher than $17 market price. Mystical Beast Jackal King, which is about $11, and it's about $12.50. Let me just say something real quickly right now. Forever I was talking about Pendulum, and how I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players should hop on the Pendulum bandwagon, because it's a cheap deck, and you're going to spend a lot of money, and it's meta. Well, here's the thing. I think you shouldn't now anymore, because I think the ban list is going to hit Pendulums. In my opinion, I think Konami needs to hit Pendulums on the ban list, because it doesn't promote their newer decks. And since it doesn't promote their newer decks, they're going to wait. They're going to hit Pendulums, and then they're going to put cards in the future set or a structured deck, like Spellcaster structured deck, to make you want to play Pendulums again. It's a smart move by Konami, and I think it's something that we will see happening. But they're going to wait until they sell Savage Strike. So it's a little bit of a weird kind of duality. That's what I think is going to happen as far as Pendulums. Looking at Mythical Beast Jackal King, $12.50, double the price of where it was a month ago, 2 months ago. It's not really worth buying into this deck anymore. It's just gotten too expensive. You can't, unless you have the Jackal Kings, Pendulums aren't really that viable of an option, unless you're going to YCS Chicago as well. Inspector boards are $7. Now, this is an Extreme Force as well as a Megaton. They're both $7. It's kind of weird, actually, but that's the price point for this card. Yeah, it's a decent card, but against Altergeist, I'd rather have Red Reboot over Inspector Border. Unless you're playing like a control deck, I don't know. I just think Red Reboot's a way better card stopping Altergeist than Inspector Border. Cobalt Graves is a $6 card, which used to be like 5 so super rare. Now they're up to 6s. It's insane. Purple Knife was 5. Everything's for the most part the same. Triple Burst Dragon is a card that as we get more striker cards, it becomes more of a needed card. I feel everybody should have Triple Burst Dragon, and if you have room in the extra deck, play this card. Price point is roughly around $5 higher than its $4 market price. Looking at Spirit Warriors, guys, Magical Musketeer Caspar is anywhere from 7 to 8.5. Market price is showing it to be about 11, and I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Players just forgot about this card again. And this price point will continue to drop down in value. You see, we got news of the new cards coming out for Magical Musketeers. In the OCG, price point spiked high in value. Now it's cooling back down in value, and we're going to see it go lower, by the way. And what's going to happen is we're going to get news about Magical Musketeer cards coming here in the TCG. And the hype is going to drive the value of these cards up. Caspar and Starfire. They're going to go higher in value. So if you're looking to make a good amount of money, you're looking to make some good trades this weekend, how about you trade for some Caspars and Starfire, throw them to the side, and when we get news of Caspar and Starfire coming here in the TCG, as the OCG has them, it's going to go higher in value. Almost guaranteed. Up next, guys, looking at Circuit Break, we got Evenly Match holding roughly around $31. There's no big change right there. It's about $35 for first edition. Board loads, for the most part, still the same, $1 extra for where its current market price is. It's just hovering right now. Until the Ultra Rare comes out, it'll go a little bit lower in value after that. Quick Launch is another card I told about yesterday. I believe yesterday, before yesterday, it was around $1 about a week ago. Now the market price showing it to be about $2. Well, the card's actually hitting near $3 for Quick Launch. Everyone looking to play Guard Dragons has bought all the Rocket stuff to combine with Guard Dragons. Unfortunately, I was really excited about Guard Dragons, but since we're not getting Needle Fiber, I'm not anymore. I'm still going to pick up Guard Dragons. I'm not going to be so adamant about them at the pre-release, and that's what I recommend for you guys. Don't be too crazy to pick up Guard Dragons because we don't got Needle Fiber. The deck's not really playable. As playable as a contender against other dragons as it would be had we had Needle Fiber. I would say recommend, look at Salamangreats if you're looking to pick up a new deck. Coda the Duelist has Fireball Dragon roughly around 5. Top Notch Bomber Dragon, you need one of these, are on 7. Tricksters. You know what? I'm looking at the pre-release Trickster prices. I kind of want to play Tricksters now. I haven't played Tricksters since they came out. I played them at Nationals, actually. Trickster Sky Strikers, but I kind of want to play Tricksters again. The new Trickster cards look pretty cool, and they're not expensive. The Secret Rare, the Trickster Field Spell is nice, but I don't know. We'll talk about that in a second, though. Looking at Sound Strike, it's roughly around $4. Public Knowledge is around 3. It needs another reprint at a high rarity. Konami, please. Make it good. Looking at Royal Command, if you are looking to play Subterrors, or looking to play against Subterrors, if you think Subterrors is going to be all about Guru Control, looking at cards like Royal Command, which had a bunch of commons, they had one rare, and it had an ultra rare, which came out Labyrinth Nightmare, the market price should only be about 73 cents. Yeah, no, Unlimited Lightly Played, I believe is a quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 28 cents. And then first edition, Lightly Played, I think it's on 6, no. Wow, I'm digging in hard for this one. Digging in hard, boys. It's about $2. $2 for edition, and then it's $2. The next one's about $3 for Royal Command. Negate the activation of all Fluid Effect monsters. That's it. Just to stop Subterrors. I'm not sure if they're a big deal around your locals, if everyone's gonna play them, but if they are at this weekend, and you're allowed to play with your pre-release cards, even though you're not supposed to because Konami says so, whatever. But if that does happen sporadically, I would hold 3 Royal Commands in your binder. Just in case your store is like, oh yeah, you guys can play with your new cards, and everyone's rocking Subterror Guru because they had the whole Subterror core. Just throw in 3 Royal Commands. 1, it's hilarious. And 2, yeah, you just stop the Fluid Effect monsters, and it's pretty good. Up next, guys, Madolches. Now, I talked about Madolches already. I talked about how high they were going in price point, but this is really interesting. They're still a high in price point, but there's a first edition near mint, Madolche Magilline for $21 in the market. After that, she's hitting 33s all day long. So, if you want Magillines and pay 20, you can get her. That's pretty rough. Looking at Madolches, I'll say it before, I'll say it again. If I had Madolches and I wasn't doing this, I wasn't doing it for my content for my channel, because I'm going to be showing you guys my Madolche deck profile, I would sell them. They're really high in value. I'm not sure if they could get any higher, unless they win the YCS Chicago. Looking at Madolches, I think they're a good deck. I don't think they can play in the meta, but they have great potential. And we're still missing Glass Fowley, which, it's a card that's coming out in Dark Neostorm. So Madolches are getting more support. Hopefully we get some reprints of Madolche cards soon, because it's pretty expensive for these cards. And Konami needs to reprint this card so everybody can have access to all these Madolche cards. Next, guys, Power Code Link Structured Deck Box. Let me explain something to you guys. If you are looking to get Lady D bugs because you want to play Salamangreats, here's my advice. Do not buy Lady D bug. It's bad. Buy the Power Link Structure Deck sealed. And here's the reason why. Besides getting Lady D bug, who's $7, you can get Lamphosaurus, which is $1. It's $8. You get Effect Vela. If we're going by value-wise, it's $9. It makes about $10 with cards like Phantom Skyblaster, which saw play in the past, can't see play now. Cards like Terraforming, One for One. These are pretty good cards. And to pay $7 to to get a thing that costs 10, just spend $10. Like, literally, it's the easiest thing to do. You'll get your Lamphosauruses, which are going down in value now because no one's playing Pendulums as much. But I still think this is a good card. And if you don't have it, why not have extras of these? These are great trade baits that people will want from you. Effect Veil is good to have as well in case you don't have a playset. By buying 3D Star decks, you will. Terraformer, you only need 2. Fan Sky Blaster, it doesn't see play, but it's still good stuff to put to the side. One for One is another great card. Yeah, I would just buy the Power Link Stratex sealed starter deck. It's just so much easier. And also, don't forget this weekend at your locals. And for the whole month, I believe it's for the whole month of January. I'm not sure about February. Konami is doing their Lost Arts promotion, Ring of Destruction. So you can buy 3Ds and get a free Ring of Destruction, which I just realized. Is it up on the TCG player yet, or are they still out of date? Okay, it is up. Yay! Yay, TCG. Okay, so the market price for Lost Arts Ring of Destruction is about $13.50, and we're seeing it roughly around that price point over here. We're not seeing a lot. We're seeing like, I mean, this guy has 9, which is around 15, but it's about 13 for the most part. So you can buy 3 of those power structure decks, Power Code Link structure decks. Get your Lady D books, get your Effect Feathers, get your Terraformers, your One for Ones, all that good spice, and then you get a Ring of Destruction because you bought 3 sealed Yu-Gi-Oh products. It's a pretty good deal. By the way, guys, anyone who's going to my locals this weekend, I will be offering that deal to you. Now, I think I got 1 full thing of Power Code Link, I think. But I'm doing pre-release. If you want to come to my store, links will be below. It's going to probably fill up, I guarantee you. But in case you do. Anyway, I'll be doing that deal with anybody, by the way. I'll be holding in case you are looking to get your Lady D bugs. If you're looking to play Salamangreats, which, I mean, for the most part, it's cheap. Next, guys, looking at Brilliant Fusion. Brilliant Fusion is still really high in value. Market price showing to be about $9s, and $40. And this was around it. The market price still showing be about $34 to $35 for Brilliant Fusion as far as its ultimate rarity. Now, with that said, guys, I think Brilliant Fusion is still a great card. I just think it's a good banless hit. I think it's pretty expensive right now, and I think Thunder Dragons are abusing it. I think future decks can be abusing this card relatively easily, and it wouldn't be surprising to me if this card gets hit in the banlist. With that said, if you do have ultimate rares, just watch out, man. It's $40 each. They're worth a lot of money, and I would not be surprised if this gets hit. And if it gets hit in the banlist, yeah, they're not being worth $40. You're gonna lose half value in a day. So hopefully you wised up on that if you do have it. Next, guys, looking at Ideal 808, their pre-release prices for cards like Pot of Extravagance, which every Yu-Gi-Oh player needs 3 of. I think every Yu-Gi-Oh player needs 3 of these, 100%. Its current price point is around $80. Now let's talk about that for a quick second. Pot of Duality, when it came out, was like $50, spiked high to over $100. Pot of Desires was around $50, spiked to about roughly $80, I'm going to say, maybe $75 conservatively. Pot of Extravagance is about $80. Most decks need 3. And if you don't play this in your deck, you're probably playing Thunder Dragons. Pot Extravagance is a card that really rewards a lot of main decks that don't need extra decks as much. Decks like Altergeist is just pretty good. I don't know anything else other than that because my brain's on Altergeist mode 24/7. But I guarantee there's a ton of other decks that Pot Extravagance rewards. With that said, guys, it's going to be a card you're going to want to have a playset of no matter what. Whether you need it now or you need it by Nationals, or you need to buy regional season post-nationals, you're going to need Pot of Extravagance. It's going to be the most wanted card at your locals. After that is Boros Savage Dragon. It's ultra rare, it's $25. Here's what I think about this card. It's going to be $10. It's going to be $10, not because the card's bad, but because the decks that card fits in isn't in every deck, and Borreload, and Boros Sword are just way better cards. Yeah, this is a good card that will be hitting $10. Real fast. Psychic Wielder. Psychic Wielder. Did I get it? Psychic Wielder is pre-selling for $25. For a card that kind of replaces a lot of cards in Burning Abyss, which is slowly becoming a money deck because of Danger Engine and max rarity tour guides, Psychic Wielder is a card you're going to want to have 3 of. It's a guaranteed want. And the crazy thing about this is, I think this price is way too low. You want my honest opinion about it. I think with Burning Abyss getting Cherubini in Dark Neostorm and getting this card in this set, this makes Burning Abyss that much more playable. They've seen play in the past, and I think they're going to see more play in the future. With that said, guys, I highly recommend you look at this card price and after you go to your pre-release, you might want to come back and see if you get this card around that price point. $25 is dirt cheap. I would highly recommend you get on top of it as fast as possible before this price rises. Every Burning Abyss player is going to want to run 3 of these cards. It's going to go higher in value. I think this is a super low price. Danger Ogopogo. Oh, I like that name. Danger Ogopogo is roughly around $20 on price point. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know much about Dangers other than Brilliant Dangers, Brilliant Thunder Dragon Dangers, as well as Burning Abyss Dangers. I think this is a good card, but as an ultra rare for $20, no. You're not, I mean, you're good. I don't know if you're Jackalope good. With that said, I don't think this card's going to maintain a $20 price point. TG Trident Launcher is Secret Rare is about $20, and that's just another card that's a trash secret. We could say it's good. We could say TG does things, but realistically, I don't think it does enough. And with that said, I think TG Trident Launcher is going to go down in value fast. I'm talking like Saturday of the pre-release, everyone will be like, who wants TG Secret Launcher? And no one's going to say nothing because nobody cares about it. And then Saturday night, it's like $10. Super Anti-Kaiju War Machine Mecha Thunder King is about $18 here on pre-order. And the thing is, it doesn't matter. Like, this doesn't matter. And here's why. This was relevant when Kaijus were relevant in everyone's extra deck. The fact that this came out now, when Kaijus aren't in many extra decks, they're in maybe Burning Abyss and Water. For the most part, they're not in anything else. This is irrelevant. And since it's irrelevant, I don't think this card should be $18. It's going to go lower in value. I don't know what the hell Fire on Light does. But it's not $18. Whatever it is, is it worth $18? I don't think so. Guard Dragon cards. I mentioned it earlier. I'll mention it real quickly again about Guard Dragon cards. I'm really excited about Guard Dragons. I'm probably going to get a deck core of Guard Dragons still. I'm going to set it up together. I'm probably still going to do that. With that said, don't go hard on Guard Dragons. We don't have Needle Fiber. Don't have faith in this deck without the Needle Fiber. I think it can still do plays, but nothing compared to what it can do if it has Needle Fiber. And since we don't have that card, this isn't as good. So $16 for this card? Yeah, no. Any Thunder Dragon card, I mean, and not Guard Dragon card, don't go crazy for it. Collect it. Don't go out of your way for it. Trickster's Live Stage Secret Rare is $13, and this makes me want to play Tricksters if anyone's going to be going for this price point. Because I think it's going to go lower in value. I think Tricksters are kind of fun. They're getting new cards, so I'll definitely have to consider playing them. Screw it, it's cheap. I mean, they're almost budget at this point. And they have broken cards, like, remember that Reincarnation Droll thing? Yeah, that's a pain, isn't it? They have that. So, I don't know. I kind of want to play Tricksters now, just by looking at this. Guys, let me know what you think about Tricksters. Comment down below if you are playing Tricksters. Just cuz, why not? They're dirt cheap and they get new stuff. Quantum Dragon, it's a pretty card. It's about $10. It's really high. This Ultra Rare is about $5. I think after that, everything's, for the most part, relatively inexpensive. For these pre-release cards, which is this is the one that gets me the most. Salamangreat Foxer, Foxy or Fox, whatever it's called. Was it Wolf or Fox? One of these Salamangreat cards are super cheap, and I feel like KONAMI should have made these secret rare in order to sell the structure deck in a better way. You have to pay something extra. Right now in Salamangreats, the most expensive card is, as we know of, Lady Debug, $7. They should have made Wolf like $60. It could have been a $60 secret rare easily, but they didn't. So looking at Savage Strike, Pada Extravagance is the card you want to get, hands down. Depending on what deck you want to play, the Psychic Wheeler, Danger Ogopogo, yeah, that's it. Now, as far as whether this set's good or bad, because people have been asking me this non-stop. V, is this set good or bad? Is this set good or bad? Well, to be honest, this is a pretty decent set. It's a big letdown that we didn't get Crystal Needle Fiber. I'll give you that. It's not an amazing set because we didn't get Crystal Needle Fiber. But it's not a terrible set. You have to be blind to not see the fact that we have this card. Anytime we got a playable pot card, the set's decent minimum. So this is a decent set. And if you think that Yu-Gi-Oh players out there right now are not looking at ways to break cards in this set, you're out of your mind. Of course they are. This is getting ready for a watch list coming up. We have more Yu-Gi-Oh events even after the ban list, and Yu-Gi-Oh players are preparing for what could be hitting the ban list and what could still be played. I think that Yu-Gi-Oh players really need to prepare for this format, and Yu-Gi-Oh players who prepare the most will benefit the most when the set drops, when we get a ban list, when we get the structure deck, when all these things happen. So yeah, this is a decent set. Product Extravagance is the only reason why it's decent though. If this card wasn't in it, the set would be probably, you know, let's be honest, trash. And that's kind of Konami's fault. They should have bumped rarities as far as the as far as the Salamangreats or Foxy cards, or as far as the Madolche card. Bump the rarity. Who cares? As a bunch of cards should have been a lot of high rarities, but they were made kind of cheap. And I know you guys are gonna be like, hey V, wait a minute, low cheap rarity? I'll take that all day long. Hell, give me Pot Extravagance common. I get it, but in order to make a set more desirable by the players, you have to have the higher rarity cards. Those are the cards that every Yu-Gi-Oh player cares about. Whether you pretend you care about it or you don't pretend you care about it and you embrace your rarity whore, it matters. If every card in the set was common, Yu-Gi-Oh players would hate this set. This would be trash, a Starfoil set. But because of the fact that this card's secret rare, it's a decent set. I just felt Konami should have had a lot higher rarities. Antonio says, anyone think Guard Dragons would be any good? And Needle Fiber isn't an OCG import. I guess he's meaning by Needle Fiber in the set. Well, Guard Dragons will be good in my opinion. I think Guard Dragons still have future potential. If we get Needle Fiber in Dark Neostorm, I think Guard Dragons is a great deck to hold as a deck core. Put it aside if we get Needle Fiber in Dark Neostorm. If not, well, we would have to wait until probably around Nationals, where Konami wait for a Battle of Legends set and give us Needle Fiber. So I think, Antonio, Guard Dragons will be good. I just think it will happen hopefully sooner than later, so we got to make the proper balance hits, so by Nationals, we can properly play a more balanced format. As much as everyone wants new cards and new changes in the game, and Needle Fiber to come out, and all this stuff, it's all doesn't matter if we have an imbalanced format. Because right now, for the most part, our format's pretty balanced. Anyway guys, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the like button, comment down below, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'll read it in the next video. I appreciate you guys watching as always. Have a good day.